we'll see what we can do with that. The thing I've been kind of like thinking about and wanting to kind of like try and cover a little bit. It's the idea of like three faction decks, right? If you're looking historically at a game like Magic, that's the only like limited format where I can really think it's relevant. Like you typically just don't draft three factions, right? Or three colors in Magic, as it would be. Like you tend to draft like two, and then if you find like a removal spell, you might dip into a third faction, or if it's one of these specific formats where there's say like a lot of Ravnica, then you might play three colors, whatever. But like the thing that's weird with Runeterra is like I rarely do it. A lot of the people that I chat with about expeditions do it kind of frequently, and there's not a whole lot of reason not to do it, right? This is a just mana based system like it is in Hearthstone, as to where, cards just cost mana. You don't have any downside. You can play a Noxus card on turn one, a Freylord card on turn two, an Ionia card on turn three, and there's no like resource system that really punishes you for wanting to do that. But yeah, like so Shadow Sung mentioned in the chat, like I tend to think that these just tend to turn into good card stacks, which I do not think are particularly good. It may be like something that you can, like if you're new to Runeterra and the low ELOs, it's something that can kind of carry you. It might be something that you might be able to run through like platinum and up into diamond. But I feel like once you get into the higher ELOs of the expedition land, the good cards decks just don't work as well, and you really need some kind of like synergies really working within your deck beyond having a good mana curve and having a bunch of powerful cards. And so the last thing I wanted to kind of mention about it is like I don't know, it's been in the patch notes like 3 6 months ago. I know I kind of like tackled three faction decks a while ago when they put this change in to where it said that if you're drafting three factions, then like on your picks, you're going to be more likely to see the buckets that you're already in. And so I didn't feel the need to go and search through the patch notes, but I do know that that is a thing. But I never really like dabbled with it too much. And so, I've been hearing a lot of people having a lot of success drafting, the good cards decks, the three factions decks, to where I bet like 95% of my drafts are dual faction or an allegiance style deck. And so, it's something kind of different for me and something to kind of tackle. This is why I really like these left pack drafts and LOR Guardian style drafts, is it just makes you kind of, do something that you don't typically do. You might see a new angle that you don't typically embark on. And so for a few trials this weekend, I was looking to draft three factions and see how we can kind of piece that together. I have some kind of like ideas about what it needs to look like for it to be good, or at least decent, or at least in the world of like the synergies that I think are okay. And I think it's kind of like, if we're gonna take a peek at this misfortune, then you really just kind of need her like stacked up on it, like oh, excuse me, if you're going to like um, pair her up with Demacia, like that's completely what you'd want to be doing with Misfortune. Is that's where all of the scouts live. That's the easiest way to get Misfortune to flip. I kind of feel like she needs to be paired up with a faction that also lines up with Demacia, and so just kind of like off the top of my head, maybe we would want to play like a suit up Sejuani as a means to Sejuani pairs up with Fiora, Fiora's in Demacia, so that when those additional packs are showing up, then you're kind of like stacked on one core faction, and then you're just kind of getting support stuff from another two factions. That's the idea. Whether or not that's the best way to go about it or the only time you should be going about it, I don't know, but I think that's what we kind of want to try and dabble with here. And so, as far as these packs are concerned, I think I am kind of on board with just diving in with Misfortune. We could probably pull this off with Renekton as well. Kind of this idea being, we are going to see a Demacia champion in the second pack. We can probably just come in and take it. I don't really like how that works here with Misfortune, in the sense that, we do want to take a Demacia champion, but most of them don't play well to this scout theme. But, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can pull off. See if we can't get, kind of a Demacia wingman for this Misfortune here. Because, when it comes to her, she really does want to just be kind of out here running with the scouts. And so, this could be kind of a bad style of deck to just chase after. with Misfortune, but we'll see. Who cares? We're gonna make this work. But I am kind of interested in playing Misfortune with Jarvan. Just kind of the idea if we have things like Cataclysm show up. They work spectacularly with the scout units, and so if it's your opponent's turn, you Cataclysm off one of your scouts, then you get the rally, and you can still make additional attacks, and so it's a pretty powerful little ability. I think we're cool to just kind of try and chase down Jarvan here. I'd have to pull up the card pool to see if there's any scout units that live in Challenger Jarvan. I don't think that there are. Like I do kind of half worry that we have it kind of in our heads that we want to piece together some kind of like scouts deck, and then we can't quite get it together. So it's like, what lives here? Great Horn Companion does. That's kind of cool. Is that going to be our only one? There's a handful of elites like the 3-cost elite with Divine Shield, or I gotta quit calling it that. The 3-cost elite with Barrier does come in and pick that up, but I think this will be okay. This should probably be more reasonable than picking up Nasus here. So let's see. We do have to be on the lookout for a third faction. We'll see if it happens or not. But yeah, the Cataclysm value. I didn't realize it either. Somebody else told me about using Cataclysms and scout units on your opponent's turn, and so part of the community down in those YouTube comments helping us piece it all together. But as far as these packs go, though, I think we just want the Island Navigator and Jagged Butcher. It does give us a scout unit and the Navigator, one of these kind of premier 1-drops in the Jagged Butcher. I don't think we really want to be pursuing things like Battlesmith and War Chefs. We're not going to have a lot of elites, and we're not going to have a lot of challengers, and so I don't think we'll get particular value out of either of these. Crackshot Corsair is fine in these style of decks, but I don't think it's as strong as Jagged Butcher. And so it's at least important to come in here and pick up these units that say Scout on them. So if we're going to pick up a third faction, I'm kind of like okay with Shurima. Just give us a way to come in and interact with our opponent's stuff. I can kind of see a world where even if we play a Rockhopper on 2 and then the scout barrier unit on 3, getting a good scout attack off of whatever they play, I could see these piecing together reasonably well. As far as these other cards are concerned, if we weren't just like pushing to jump into 3 factions, then I would just take the single combat Vanguard Redeemer. Both of these fit in line pretty well with the scouts kind of theme. But we're drafting 3 today. We're getting 3 factions in here. Let's get to it. Let's see how this plays out. And, kind of to that ideal, I think this Hired Gun, Stalking Broodmother are fine. I'm always okay with usually like 1 or 2 Stalking Broodmothers in this style of deck. The problem that I think we tend to run into with Misfortunes and these scout style decks is just having a way to close out the game. It's like super easy to be like, well, I'm not going to take any units that don't have scout, and so you just kind of end up in this spot to where you're like pick 12 and your curve tops off at 5, and you have like this one Razor Scale Hunter, and you haven't seen any Great Horn Companions, and you're just kind of like stuck. And so I usually don't go out of my way to take these Stalking Broodmothers, but I think this is fine here, especially since it's on with like a kind of a premier 2-drop in Hired Gun. Pretty powerful stuff. All these challengers do play pretty well with the likes of Misfortune, just being able to trade up or take down your opponent's 1 health units. So pretty cool there. As far as these go, man, I don't really want Confronts. I don't want the one we have, but it's like I really don't want to be passing up on these scout units, because as far as this deck goes, like from the champion standpoint, I really just intend on drafting 3 Misfortunes and 1 Jarvan. So we do need a touch of top end here. But as far as these other packs go, these are all fairly weak. I mean, I'd almost rather have Confront than have Devoted Counsel, and then I don't think we'll get too much usage out of Duelist and Bone Crusher in this style of deck. So welcome to the team, bro. All right. This is more along the lines of some of the cards that we would want. Here's the Cataclysm we were talking about, but I don't think we can take it here. I'm mainly interested in the Green Fang Warden and the Riposte. You just get so much value out of Riposte coming down onto scout units. We are playing all these challengers and vulnerables where it doubles up in strength as well. I think packs like this are just exactly what we're looking for here. I'd love to just take all 6 of these, though. That would be a very nice pack to just come in and take all 6. Okay. Yeah, it does. The Cataclysm gives you additional ways to level up Misfortune, even if you aren't, running out and about with scouts. It gives you another way to do it. And then, this one's kind of awkward. We're just going to keep passing on these cataclysms, unfortunately. But I don't think we can go, through the end of the trial without picking up a real removal spell. And that's what we're getting in Concerted Strike. Also being paired up with a 1-drop is pretty nice. And so, welcome to the party here. Okay, I can get behind this Siphoning Strike and Honored Lord. We'll have to kind of wait and see if, maybe we want to pick up a Quinn instead of a third Misfortune. That's, pretty close. But again, I'm pretty happy to come in and pick up a removal spell. The Honored Lord plays well with our Challenger, with the Confronts and our vulnerable kind of themes. Would really like to pick up this Green Fang Warden because it seems like we only have like 4 or 5 scouts at this point, right? We've got the Green Fang Warden, the Razor Skull Hunter, and 2 Broodmothers, so that would be going up to 4. And so yeah, let's go ahead and pick up the Siphoning Strike, but we are going to be on the lookout for some more scout units. Okay, here we go, picking up some more Shurima cards, right? The Honored Lord, again, he'll play pretty well here, and the Ruthless Predator giving us another means to interact with our opponents. Beautiful, beautiful. This is coming together nicely now. The Fleet Feather Tracker and the Great Horn Companion. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so we're back to just the turds now, right? So I'm not opposed to like Eben Warn the Beast Below. I assume that we'll never get like real value out of the Beast Below, but a 4/4 for 4 isn't a bad deal. I don't really want to be playing Vanguard Squires, the Defenders, whatever, but this is a pretty like low quality pack. And then Playful Trickster, just garbage. I'd like to really like to have these rally kind of cards, but this one's just not particularly good here. Citrus Courier is more along the lines of a rally card that we're like okay with, but again, we'd rather just have like Cataclysms or Relentless Pursuits or something. So I think this is reasonable. It's at least some interaction with a kind of a meaty unit. Okay, the interesting packs continue. I think I'm on board like with just taking another Blinding Assault Sharp Sight. Just continue up the chain with these low-cost scout units. This isn't like really the deck where Bloodthirsty Marauder is good. Moderately interested in Pool Shark Beast Below, but the Blinding Assault Sharp Sight are just too on theme. Okay, is this going to be our mid-game package here in the Gallant Rider Vanguard Cavalry? I'm kind of okay with it. We don't have too much in this area of the curve. We don't intend on drafting Jarvans, and so we could end up with a Quinn, right? If I think I'd really want like a second Siphoning Strike before I started considering chasing after Quinns, but this mid part of the curve we're kind of light in. Having these beefy units plays well with our vulnerables. Pretty happy with all of that. Okay, the last one. Man, I don't want 3 Stalking Broodmothers, but I really don't want Confronts in our deck either. So I think we'll just have to be okay with making this trade, and maybe we can trade away a Broodmother later, but I just don't want these Confronts here. Okay, it came together reasonably. I'm not opposed to this. Like I would still rather just have a deck that has like 12 scouts in it, but we'll see. I mean, it's nice to come in and add these vulnerable cards. They play reasonably well with our scout units, and so I think we can piece together something cool here. No premiums? Nah, we'll leave the premiums to the YouTube content. I've tried to kind of like piece together how I'd like to kind of keep the Twitch thing separate from the YouTube thing, and it's like I kind of like YouTube being just kind of more in depth and focused on the learning kind of things, and then we can keep our premiums there, and then I like to just kind of hang out more and interact with the Twitch chat here. So I'll skip on like the in-depth review at the beginning. I kind of skip on making the premiums. I kind of skip on the recap at the end, but we'll see how these things come together as time goes on. Is this more of a scouts or more of elites? This is more scouts. That's where we're trying to piece together here. We're trying to build towards misfortune. The big thing is we're trying to branch out and chase after 3 factions, and so we would typically just be not in Shurima here, but we went out of our way to pick up a 3rd faction. It seems like it's come together reasonably well. But yeah, it's not as all in on the scouts as I would typically prefer it to be. Not a bad start. I mean, these Honored Lords are still good, even if we don't find a way to give them Challenger. So young prince will be found. I know, my man. We gotta find him. What have going on here? Renekton and Aurelion Soul. Interesting set. Right, so do we ever just get like, excuse me, just like blown up for playing an Honored Lord here? I don't think we do. We're not going to get any like real value out of pocket aces here, and if we just end up like trading for whatever he plays, I think I'm pretty okay with it. Interesting, just making the 4-4. All right, that'll shut us down. That was a nice little pickup. So I think I still just want to come in and like riposte this. Is that? I think that's probably the most reasonable way to go about it. Not real stoked as these units are just like so much bigger than ours, but this is okay. Could even arguably just put the Crackshot Corsair in front of the Ibex because we don't have any challengers, and then look to, or we don't have any plunders, and then look to take it down next turn with an Honored Lord. I'm kind of on board with this, but it is pretty bad if this fails. Maybe we just try to take him down with pocket aces in the future or something. We could just get it out of the way. Kind of dig that as well. If we just want to say like hook it with Fleet Feather Tracker, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, who needs the premiums? We already got all the premiums. We're pretty well stacked on him. This dude's got all the Zenith Blades.
The soul wears away like grains of sand.
All right, well he's about to get face blasted. Yeah, if he's not going to add to the board, then we're going to do some work here. So neither of these Honored Lords have activated, so you know, we'll get the Divine Shield. God, I got a quick call on at that. We'll get the barrier as we slam in here, and doing a heavy amount of face damage. Okay, that seems pretty fantastic for us. Oof.
Know your path or the mountain changes.
Let's see. It's like I think we want to add Great Corn Companion just because it's our biggest unit, and then we can still look to come in next turn and just hook both of his units. I think this is looking pretty good. We can come in for pocket aces if we need to deal a couple more points of damage. I think he had to ideally be looking for like a like the dog that draws cards. Yeah, the serpent, that kind of thing. But this is still fantastic. He comes in and hooks the unit down, and we can put in a blinding assault. Okay. You got it, boss. You hooked the wrong one. So I think this is fine. We don't need to make scout attacks here. I think we just go all in on the face. Oh, picking up a sharp sight, that was huge. We want to hit with these. These are doing their hook thing. There we go. Good game, friend. Yeah, he hooked the wrong one. I don't think it was going to super matter there, but easy enough mistake to make. I don't know how that looks on mobile either. If it's I did notice like the little lightning bolt on desktop, but I don't know how it looks on mobile, if it even makes it easy to see that kind of thing or not. But you know, here I'm on board with more misfortunes. We're getting another scout in the blinding assault. Not a huge fan of the sheriff. I thought this was going to be a much stronger card than it actually is. But you know, she's a nice little piece of top end here. Even you know, playing to the vulnerable theme with some of these units we have, like the where'd you go, forecast guy, like the gallant rider, and so reasonable stuff. Same on mobile. Yeah, well, it happens. He was probably just bamboozled playing against the old FTP bust, shaking. The hands were shaking and stuff. You know, it's easy to it's easy to have that kind of thing happen. And all right, let's keep the cheap stuff. Look for some early plays. All right, not bad. Do you sometimes play on mobile? Not recently. Like I do. I used to play like quite a bit on just like doing cardio at the gym or at the before the COVID shots were around, just like at home on the treadmill. But I mostly just play teamfight tactics in that kind of situation now, and don't play too much on the old phone. Like I found it like too easy to I'm too afraid to drop my phone in the toilet after so many opponents have come in and started to drop their phone in the toilet against us. But nah, and also like I don't know how like some streamers do it, like these people that come out here and just play Runeterra for like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and just get like 40 hours a week of it in. Seems fairly unhealthy, but it's not something that I'm really trying to pursue that much either. I'm good with a few hours a day, but this kind of like lifetime commitment is is a big ask. All right, this is the thing that we always talk about being a struggle with the Shurima kind of vulnerables, is you really can't just be trading your units for your opponent's units like this. This is like, compare this game to the previous game where we were just tearing stuff down with Honored Lords. Brutal. It's pretty tough to get in here, and if you're just trading one for one, you're usually got to get like the Honored Lords or like a 3/3 down into his 1/2. Just something a little bit more positive than what we're doing. Honored Lord making an appearance is nice, but we're not really trying to take down Yeti yearlings with this thing. Also, a touch awkward Jarvan won't be attacking for 2 turns. But I think we have to get the Sand Spinner down. I think this is still a reasonable target. And then maybe next turn we can just look to Ruthless Predator down the Enraged Yeti with the Honored Lord. Okay. Alright, let's make some stuff happen.
Sent by the king himself.
It's kind of nice, though, with also the combos with the Great Horn Companion and Jarvan, potentially letting him attack twice on our next attack. I'm typically on board with that kind of thing. You need a boost, and you need a vulnerable. Something here is going to go wrong. This seems like it's probably a something along the lines of a Troll Chant. But
You won't leave a scratch.
the Troll Chant doesn't, take down all of the combats that really matter. These 2 on the left being the ones that really matter. Okay, made a big old boy.
I've learned a trick or 2.
It's kind of an awkward size since you can't take it down with Jarvan either. Okay.
Little's cross easy.
We have to I don't think we need to quite throw away into this yet. It's kind of scary against Freylord. Like, we don't care about the flight, that's whatever. The big problem we worry about is him playing big overwhelms. I think we can still do stuff like this. We could technically, like, get 2 attacks onto this Troll Ravager if we're going to use Yeben Warned. Or would we rather just like do that second but open here and get Jarvan attacking on this thing? Kinda okay with that as well.
Prince Jarvan, you must come with me at once.
Barrett, let's see these fools off first, huh? Ours is but to do and die.
Ready to flip yet? Yeah, you got some time to go before you can flip. Still seems okay. Ooh, 1 second. Did he even do anything? What's up with this guy? Oh, he played some kind of frostbite. Sure. Alright. Sad face as it is. Okay. So, I mean, like, we're doing this, most certainly. Do we just want to, like, try and chunk some damage in here? Right through the old Eclipse Dragon? We probably need to save this Honored Lord. Oh, no, we don't. We have a second one. I'm trying to think of how we ever get this Jarvan to flip. It's going to get 1 tick here, but then we need, like, a vulnerable or a challenge or something with one of these Honored Lords. Probably just need to save our blockers for this Eclipse Dragon. Okay. Alright, Riposte is a, is a way to hopefully take this thing down. Hit the stairs. 2 to everything? Okay. Alright, we could take all of this down. If he has a Brittle Steel to, like, completely shut down everything we're doing here, then, you know, kind of like whatever, you did it. But I think this is okay otherwise. Probably ought to go ahead and try to take one of these down. Strike you.
You won't leave a scratch.
Get this Beast Below in. Good stuff. Good deal. How far are we off from deep? Got a little ways to go. What was the point of playing Gibbon Warren there? It was to give his thing vulnerable, so that we could attack it twice. Right? He could just choose to not block if. I'm pretty sure it didn't. Wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it didn't. Okay, let's get some dudes in here. Alright, so I guess Brittle Steel isn't a thing to worry about, or Frostbites in general. So, hopefully just be able to take this down next turn. Can do this cutesy thing with the Island Navigator where we just come in. Oh, he's gonna have the flight, so we shouldn't have just taken that Eclipse Dragon hit. That's a little unfortunate. That's fine. We'll just top deck a Sharpsight or something here. Oh, he's got 2 answers. Uh-oh.
To the flag! No better place than Tarkon.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and give this one up. He had all the tools there. Even we should have blocked that Eclipse Dragon. I forgot about the flight, but I think we were going to have a real struggle with that turn, even had we played that a little differently. But here, you know, I'm always happy to get rid of confronts. Pick up another scout unit. Not a bad little pickup. Alright, let's make up for that. Poor little Misfortune. I can't remember. I know I've tried to make like a few Misfortune videos here recently, and it's like I've been having a real struggle getting them to come together well. So maybe this will be it. The idea is just to draft 3 factions. Even that one that doesn't have scout units in it, just get right in there. Whoa, bro, going on with the full-on cloning program. I guess cloning program's technically not Ezreal anymore; it's Vi, but that's the idea happening. Okay. Ezreal and Anivia. As long as we're not getting Elnicked, everything will be fine.
Will be found.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
Okay. I don't think this is quite worth it when we already have Misfortunes in our hand. So we'll just let that one hang out for a bit. You ever do something to make us not want to play this? Reasonable chance he just like sends it back at us, which kinda sucks. But I don't really. I guess we could have just played Honored Lord instead. What you got for us, Broheim? I can't imagine you don't want to make this attack. Like, what in the world would you not trade for your eager apprentice? So, I think he'll come in, but he may have dropped his phone in the toilet. Happens to the best of them. Okay.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
Get us lined up for the siphoning strike. Get the gigantic Misfortunes going. His name is Ask You Nicely, please leave. Oh man, I think he did. I think he dropped the phone in the toilet. Oh no.
They will sing of our deeds.
This should be safe with Misfortune, right? Even if he does something like really weird, we still have the pocket aces. I think he's just gone. Dang.
Love ya.
Got him. I guess we got him good then. Oh, jeez. I just expected the concede screen to come up. Maybe he's just waiting on me to emote or something. All right. How long do we have to wait on this? Doesn't usually disconnect by now? Is the dude just roping? Oh, he's back, right? He's back. I think we're good to Blinding Assault. Incredibly good against his board here. I still think, if we can get this Siphoning Strike off, that should be enough to really catapult us ahead here. But yeah, I think it's intentional as well. Whatever. Yeah, you got that name on screen, gets the 8 viewers. That's the worldwide attention that people strive for, is to get up here against, be seen by 8 people. But
I have been sent by the king himself.
I think this is fine. Yeah, I know. Taken away from the quality. It is what it is. I'll just cut him out of the recording and that'll make up for some of it, right? Alright, so let's start with this one. So picking up the Ruthless Predator is nice. The old double Honored Lord with the Ruthless Predators. Alright, this guy's name really checks out. I mean, I never got it, right? Like, if this is what, brings you joy to your day, then I guess as long as you're getting some value out of it, then props to you. Just even get us, we have like, is this lethal if we just attack?
Keep the faith.
Set sail.
I mean, that should be lethal, right? Like, how does this guy even win a game? It's just people leaving. The future of fun. I don't remember saying that, but I mean, I know this is what I sign up for. It's like I really just want to, get off after a nice day at work, sit down, fire up the Runeterra, and then just like push that button right before he gets to the edge of the little circle.
Fortune smiles.
I don't know. I would assume that that's probably just a bot. But all right, we made it. We made it through that one. And let's see. Oh, the Grand Plaza. Can do quite a bit with the Grand Plaza. So nice with all of the scout units. I think that's what we were looking to pick up here. We're a little high on our curve anyways, so nice little pickup. Trying to tell us to get rid of Greenfang Warden. It's not happening. Okay, all right, we made it through that one. I think games 1, 2, and 3 took as long as game 4, but now we're ready to move on. Oh, I'm like tempted to keep Sharp Sight, but he's only playing one Zoe, right? So I think we can probably just go ahead and get rid of it. It's similar to just have challengers, but it'd be nice to be able to deal with her if she makes an early appearance.
They'll never see me coming.
Want to run this out? This dude like shuts down so much of our plans. I think this is okay, even if we have to trade it for Underlord. We don't currently have any ways to give him Challenger. That could kind of change things though. Let's see if he goes ahead and makes the trade. That leaves us in a spot to where, we're just like passing on mana, we still have the thing to do.
They picked the wrong row. Down from the trees.
Okay.
I have been sent by the king himself.
Do you ever see Kindred feeling less salty? Well, I got over the Grand Plaza once they nerfed it, and so with Kindred, it's still kind of he's not nerfed or anything, and so I mean it could change, sure, but is it gonna happen? Probably not. Let's be real with ourselves. Okay, so adding in Yasuo, we can maybe deal with something here. I'm okay to just go ahead and get 2 for 1 out of this. He's only playing like 1 copy of him, so I don't think he's going to be like a full build around as far as Yasuo is concerned. But I'd still Like, I don't, with the size of our units, I don't want them just, like, dying to a random concussive palm. I am going to leave this guy back. We're going to have our 6 mana on our next attack, and I would prefer to get Jarvan attacking twice if we can try to pull that off. Okay. He had something. There were some shenanigans. But at least there's less kindred. Yeah, ever since the trade bonus fell off, that's been kind of nice for us.
Blade never gets any lighter.
Okay. Awkward amounts of mana. This is why I don't like all these stalking broodmothers, but maybe our feelings will turn around a little bit once once we're just putting multiples of these on the board.
Time to get my hands.
Prince Jarvan, you must come with me at once. Barrett, let's see these fools off first, huh?
Put him in the ground. We've been having some reasonable success against Kindred here recently. Okay, this is slightly annoying. I think we can kind of like still safely strafing strike down this River Shaper, right? He is going to deal 2 damage to our Jarvan, and then he's also going to get to draw the card. But he's going to fall out of combat and then not die to Yasuo. And Jarvan dying isn't really the end of the world. If that's what seems to be happening. There it is. That weirded me out with the animation, but looking decent.
Keep your head down, okay?
Quite sure if that was the best target. Don't think he realized we still had a challenger. Yeah, it's alright, my man. It's okay.
The order rewards its fate.
Oh, just picking up the Grand Plaza, huh? I think we probably just have to go with it. Do we? Like, if he just attacks... Probably just don't... probably don't need it, as nice as that sounds.
Psst, act natural. I got
Okay.
you.
Or I guess at this point we could at least just play it next turn with the companion and achieve a pretty similar result.
I will play
That's what
my
we'll look to
part.
be doing. Let's have this Concussive Palm Part 2 to shut part of this down, but let's see how it goes. I worry he's going to just kill us with the elusives. These ground units don't really matter at this point, but the elusives are problematic. Okay.
Here's our chance.
Do we want to just like start attacking with this conservator? I think we're fine. Now that we have like scouts and we can get it going every turn, I'd kind of like to just draw a card off of this thing. You can space off your board. Didn't expect that. Okay, that makes more sense. Maybe we'll draw something cool like a True Shot Barrage off of this. Vengeance? Sorry. No complaints.
Now who's got the upper hand?
We're gonna have to trade here. It's fine.
They will sing of our deeds.
Alright, then I suspect we'll probably just have to trade out Jarvan at some point here as well. Oh, he's giving up elusives? Oh man, is he gonna try to Fey Guide his Blade Twirler and then we're gonna get the Vengeance on his good unit? Oh man, this is gonna be nice. Okay. I think that's what's about to happen.
Stay hidden.
Alright.
No quarter!
Yeah, this all seems pretty nice. You can't deny anymore now. Can't bastion. Pretty on board with how this looks.
I know a way.
Oh, he's gonna let us level up our Jarvan as well? Oh man. Oh man, this is good.
Should have sagged.
Alright, alright. Hopefully we're safe now. Oh, we're just gonna lose our Jarvan. I thought that was our 4th strike. All from enemy blockers, okay. That's stupid. Don't expect me to know how the rules of the game work. Yeah, Sharp Sight was a nice little pickup as well. Being able to come in and block one of these elusives. How far is Deep? Deep's going to take a little bit more work, but... Alright, that looks pretty decent now. That looks pretty decent.
Face your fate.
Alright, and I don't really want to play any of these this turn. Can we ever... Well, what are we at? Like 6? This will have 7 next turn, 17. I think like we can... Do we just ever skip playing scout attacks because we can kill Yone with a Crackshot Corsair? I don't think we can quite skip that much, but... Okay. Is Yasuo a card or two away from being good, or is he worse than that? He's pretty close. I think Yasuo is one of these cards that's like really straddles the balance of, you know, him like worrying about him becoming too good. I think is actually a thing. And so, but yeah, if he had like one more of these, just kind of like, even if it was the quality of say like a stun spider, then I think Yasuo would be right up there. His card pool's already pretty good. So. Doing making Targon shields? The Whimsy kind of sucks. It's a pretty good turn. Okay. And we just can't attack here, unfortunately. I'd love to send the Crackshot Corsair into the Immortal Fire. Like the idea that I had here is that we were going to be able to Sharp Sight and save a unit through part of this, but it's not the case anymore. No, I guess technically this will just come right back. We just have to pass. Gotta count on this other Stalking Broodmother to get the job done.
The dark beckons. They cannot hide.
And Zoe. Boy, got it all. Got all the tools.
Night falls.
Leaves Yone back. Okay. Fortunately, not a lot we can do about this. Man, does he really have more cards? I felt like the previous turn was quite a bit enough of coming right back into it. Oh, geez, he's got another stun. Retreat. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how we come back in this one. Maybe if we draw the Sheriff, she could make something happen. We're just gonna have we don't have any answers to this Immortal Fire. Guess we could maybe Concerted Strike it if we have... I don't know how this works if you have 2 5-attack units Concerted Striking the Immortal Fire. Hey, we're deep now. Okay, well, I guess here's our opportunity to find out how that works. As far as these go, I think we need to like hook Zoe with the Great Horn Companion, and then see if we can't find something good. So maybe we'll get the chance to find out how everything works here if we try to play Yeben Warned on Zoe and then he plays the Immortal Fire. Okay, I'm not like convinced that this is gonna work how we want, but it seems like it should make sense, right? The first time I would die, fully heal me instead, so we're gonna hit it for 5 and then hit it for 6. The second half does damage to the first Immortal. That's stupid. That's the dumbest thing I heard all day.
I've got us covered.
Do not interfere.
So you're sure on that Shadow Sung that's not going to work if we try to concerted strike the Immortal Fire? Not certain.
always
All
a
right.
way
It might be all we need. How cool are we with this? If he blocks one of these with a conspirator, I think that's okay.
Orders. Bullet to the face. It's too late for you.
We couldn't play the Misfortune because he's just... Oh, no, we didn't have the Young Mana. We could have done that. But all right, let's see how this works. Let's see if this plays out how we want. So an ally to strike first. Sure, you. Second, you. And then it'll still die in combat even if this doesn't work how we want. Yeah, we got it. Looky there. Oh, check the eye? No, dude, that's too easy. Ah, damn. Come on, dude. We went through all this work to do cool stuff, and then just gotta drop the elusives. Alright, well, we learned something today. What more can we ask out of a game? Alright, so what are we getting here? Callous Bone Crusher, you're not the one I want. Hey, we could pick up the Golden Ambassadors, get a nice 4 allegiance to Shurima. But I think we should probably just go ahead and trade the Bone Crusher for the Beast Below, right? We haven't hit deep in any of these games. Maybe we hit it in that last one, but it just didn't matter. Where we can technically hit reputations for this thing. But, you know, he's just got more stats most of the time, so... Welcome to the team. Check the eye. Yeah, that's that's the easy way. I forget about that sometimes. Alright, there's a reasonable start. Oh man, we get to try and get Misfortune down? Oop.
Nothing but the stink of blood and sweat.
Yeah, playing the Misfortune would have killed it. I was like ultimately worried that he was gonna play a Yone. Like I had it in my head that he was retreating Yone so that he could attack again, and then then I realized that after the fact that he didn't have the mana to play her. So that was my fault.
Fortune favors the bold.
We could have gotten an attack here on this previous turn, but I wanted to see if we could get a good target for this hired gun, and then we didn't. And so it's not like we fall too far behind in that sense because we have the Blinding Assaults in our hand. But that was the idea behind, like, hey, let's play this, and then just kind of be like, oh, that didn't line up too well. All kinds of cool stuff we can do now. Saw this thing come down, I was like, shit, he's just gonna kill our Misfortune. Alright. There's the old Quinn Bird. I keep thinking it's weird that these aren't premium yet, but then I remember it's a rare. Okay, not a bad start. Okay. Then do we ever just want to just like go ahead and play the hired gun to get the damage in? He's taking 2, he's gonna take 6 at least. Maybe he'll play something now that he's... That probably seems a little greedy. It's like, I know we have these birds down, but you don't necessarily want to be like having to hook his unit with the birds. Pesky Spectre. Oh, snap.
Oh, fresh soil.
Ooh, and that's a that's an ephemeral one, so he's got another one in his hand. You can just wait till he gets into combat before we play the Make It Rain. I mean, it doesn't even have to be perfect here. It would be ideal if it protects both of our birds, but I think as long as we still have one, then it's kind of okay. It's probably going to be the one that... Where did that fall? I was like, it's probably going to be the one that just manages to make sure all of our birds die. Alright, so we got one.
You're cute when you're armed.
Firepower's always in style.
I'm kind of curious if we should just like Ruthless Predator this Valor. Probably not once we pick up the Honored Lord, but...
Love ya.
You do need to just come in and attack once he plays a unit, though, since it's a problem if he plays the second Blighted Caretaker to get all these blockers.
Time to make some coin.
All eyes on me.
If it was premium, it would have saved the birds. Yeah. No, they can't all... I don't... Ooh, man, we'd have had to level up this Misfortune for those to be premium, though. And then do you ever open with everything there in Trophy Lethal? I mean, it seems like we're just, like, so far ahead that if, like...
That's how we do things in Build
If a piece of it goes wrong, then I would prefer just our Misfortunes be flipped. You know, if he's going to have to, like, deal with the bird and then deal with additional things. I think if we were in a spot to where it was like we were, you know, significantly far behind, then I'd be more and more open to just making an open attack there. Then here with these, I mean, there's a Quinn. Like I said, if we had 2 Nasus strikes, I think I'd be okay with picking up Quinns, but given that we only have the 1 copy, I'll keep stacking Misfortune here. Okay, alright, we'll make a run for it. I like picking up these Grizzled Rangers. They don't appear... Those, it's like weird, we've seen like 1. Maybe we saw 2 of the 3-cost Scout. This is our first Grizzled Ranger we've seen. Anywho, that seems like a reasonable start. You know, again, this does have these like problems of, you know, everything just has 1 health and we can't, you know, win combats, but hey, Misfortune comes down to change our feels on that. She doesn't, excuse me, she doesn't like fit in the curve good. If we want to get Blinding Assault to be a part of the problem, but they'll be okay.
I have been sent by the king himself.
I intend on just playing this real slow. We'll see what he adds. Okay, I don't think we need to just hook down this Gearhead. We can wait until Misfortune's on the board and try to get a good hook on her. It's tapped out, so it doesn't matter.
Looking for trouble.
He may let us just block his Gearhead. I'm not opposed to that. Kind of opposed to it though. I don't want Misfortune falling to a whatever the thing is, the Scorched Earth or Nox and Guillotine kind of cards.
Observe the price of ambition.
Uh-oh. Doing something. Got a calling strike? No, that one's not so bad.
Disintegrate.
Love ya.
Only human.
Right now we just need time. I think we should be okay. We're able to get this this blinding assault with Riposte and Misfortune all syncing together.
These hands mean
Not a bad hit as far as the cards he's playing are concerned here.
Nothing like the stink of blood.
With the Rune Forger to also get a Reforge.
It's Draven time.
Well, let's see if we can't get a Riposte down on this Draven. He's tapped out. I think we're going to have to just like throw Misfortune in front of something as well. It's going to be 2 turns for her to flip anyways, and so I think the combat is what it is. But, you know, assuming all this goes well, we're just going to fall to Nan. He's not playing Darius. He's got 2 1-health units, and we're about to play a scout unit with Misfortune on the board. So, you know, pretty reasonable chance of coming back after this turn. Oh, forgot about Spinning Axe, though. It's still pretty reasonable. So yeah, we should have switched that up. Forgot about the Spinning Axe, and that is kind of a problem. We should have reposted Misfortune and put her in front of Draven and then blocked his 1-health unit with our Jagged Butcher.
Every wave is a path.
We can go get our Draven now, though. That's going to be brutal, though. Losing that Misfortune is going to be the
Rules are made to be broken.
the key to this game going poorly.
Blessed is motion.
Let's just start with this. I don't think too much happens with this. Oh god, he actually blocked with Jinx.
Return me to
No, I did not expect that to be an outcome that ever happened.
Time to get rich.
This is a touch awkward. Maybe we should like save a unit since Concerted Strike and Strafing Strike need units to be on the board. But I have to imagine like a full cleared board and just being down 1 card is better than better than the spot his deck is. Like our top end has to be so much better than his.
Fate was written.
Man, if we had Misfortune, this would be sick. Not a bad pickup.
I always catch my prey.
Anything helps.
So he discarded his Spinning Axe. Now I feel a little bit better about the Razor Scale Hunter. Oh, go away, please. Who do we end up targeting, though? Probably the Quick Attacker, right? If we'd like to take this down on our next turn. One of the few ways we can do it. Otherwise, this takes down like so many of our big boys. Okay.
Now I pack a punch. Its power courses through me. Heads will roll.
It's not ideal.
Escape. Try to keep up.
This is only 6, though. It's going to take us to 1. Okay.
Anything helps.
Your head will make a fine trophy.
Ow! Idiots!
All right, something good. Not quite what we were looking for, but he never blocks with this, right? Let's see. Maybe he does. He just comes in and tries to make a trade here, then we can still kill his other unit. Do I have to have 2 on the board for this? No. Okay. Alright, I can't imagine that this is good, but we could draw something nice. That'll do it. So yeah, that misfortune turn was ultimately pretty bad. I didn't realize he had the spinning axe in his hand when I was figuring up those blocks there. We should have just 100% reposted misfortune and put her in front of Draven, and then that next turn would have been so sick with all of his 1 health units and our misfortune and our challenger. We would have taken over immediately. She probably wouldn't have gotten to flip. I assume he would have probably, well, even the next turn if he tried to play the that 3/3 challenger into our misfortune. We had the removal spell. Yeah, we would have smashed that game. That was pretty bad, but is what it is. We've learned our lesson and we'll move on. And so, as far as these are concerned, the second siphoning strike does show up, but I don't think we really want it at this point. Would be pretty good with Quinn. Having a 5/6 Quinn with Scout is pretty powerful, but it's okay to assume that ship has sailed. The big one I'm looking at here is the Screeching Dragon. I don't think we need it. Like, I'm kind of on board with having these Yibin warned, since like so many of our curves are just like don't play anything the first turn into Honored Lord, and it plays pretty well in that situation. So I think I'm just going to skip on all of these. Well, we could pick up the Corsair, but we don't have any plunders, and so maybe we do, though. This isn't like a fantastic attacker. Okay, I'm on board with that. See if I can't get you all this this 13 games of value here. I don't think we've won 2 in a row at any point. So this will be like a 4-hour trial. 13 games. Just for you all. You're welcome. Let's see, these combos aren't that bad, especially since we're on the even attacks. I think I could see this. I'd still, rather pick up a cheaper play. Okay, much better, much better.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that? Let's get him, crew. Hi-ya!
He's playing multiple Zoes.
Success gets you noticed around here.
Sure. I don't know what he'd be digging for to hopefully make this better. That was what was created, right? Yeah. Guess he technically could be playing Sparkle Flies. Okay. And we definitely need to be banking 1 here. I don't see a reason to play Pocket Aces, so let's get the Corsair down, and then we'll try to get a good Gallant Rider hit in next turn. Change anything? I don't think so. And of course, the Grand Plaza makes an appearance. You'll have to get that down next turn. We don't have any spell mana cards to play with this. Okay. Do we just get shut down here? Does he? There's no way he goes for he could go for stuns. There's no way he just goes for damage. Okay, 2-cost follower makes sense.
Shape the skies and mold the earth.
Herald of Dragons. The fuck? He is playing Aurelion Soul, but do we ever have to worry about this thing? I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. The dragon that I would ultimately be worried about is if he plays a Challenger Dragon. That's the Demacia one. So I think this is completely fine. These attacks are safe. We can get you in.
Get my helmet.
Captain's
Don't want to
orders.
trade this.
Fully
Give
to
him
the
the value block with Sparklefly. This seems okay. All right, it's all coming together.
Here comes the punchline. Hit 'em where it hurts. Trouble coming at ya.
Okay. Unfortunate. One short for getting Vi to flip. Sorry, bro. Okay, then this isn't like too awkward. Misfortune. You could have shown up at a little better time, but okay.
Always forward.
We just try to take down his Vi, right? We're gonna put some damage on her, and then we're gonna try to Grand Plaza this, or Honored Lord her down with our next attack.
I've got us covered.
She's another one when she's just attacking to flip, right? Or is this, no, it's when I strike for 10. That's okay, we can still take her down.
Coming to
The,
save the day.
The Grand Plaza is going to make our Honored Lord a 4 attack. And we have the pocket aces in case like everything goes wrong.
I have been sent by the king himself.
Not cool, bro. Not cool.
Won't leave a scratch.
Time to make some coin.
Captain's orders.
Tell it to the fists.
You like the design of Honored Lord? Yeah, he's good. He's interesting. You know, it's like I always like these like 5-stat two cost cards that, you know, like need a little bit of work to completely get going. Like the 5/2 or the one that could potentially be like 5 attack out of Noxus. Also pretty nice, right? It can be kind of like a feels bad moment if you never get to
Oh, that's my
you know,
favorite
like use them
too.
to their full potential, but they're always just like so strong.
Trouble. It found me.
Being able to sure be good just normal wise, but then if they're in the right deck they can always ramp up. They're so important in like limited especially. You lose everything? It's all gone?
Words are lost.
Oh,
in the
nasty.
wild winds.
Okay, I guess we'll make normal attacks.
Right out.
Is that it? These are only good ones? We need to do we need to hook this Herald of Dragons because he's just gonna play Aurelion Soul next turn? Is that what's really gonna happen to us? I think this one's probably safe.
Keep the pace.
I'm fully intending on playing the. I was going to play the Make It Rain post combat, but I don't think we need to now. Aurelion Soul clearly isn't a concern.
Bring him home.
Let's wait a turn and see if we can't get a better Make It Rain. Okay. Okay.
I'll be damned.
Ah, dude. Just don't have fun. I missed what the, Okay, here come the big boys. Not Paddlestar, not Honored Lord. Get the stuff out of here. I was wanting to see that Equinox. Does this say where it came from? Like, we assume that it came from a star chart, but can't quite tell. There's just no reason to play units on his turn at this point. Could have technically started with Rockhopper, but I don't think that's where we need to go with this.
Always seeking new horizons.
Gonna like lose our unit if we do that, right? Guess his thing could get vulnerable. Let's see how this plays out from here. At worst, like, we can just come in and overwrite this Roiling Sands.
No prey, no pay.
Pass into orbit's path.
Interesting.
Move aside or face its wrath.
Oh, this one's just clearly better.
Captain's orders. Bullet to.
Why would you pick that one? Sure. So, I mean, like, this is happening. I'm not super worried about Misfortune dying here. I guess if he has a, what could he have? Like a Targon shield? Maybe we need to do it like this.
I go!
You can come in and hook here.
Things are on
And
the
if he really wants to take the 6 hit from Stalking Broodmother, I think that's okay. Okay, that's how you want the combats to look when you look at the Oracle's Eye, right? Just his board's completely gone and your units all survive. It's not a lock here. He's got like a bunch of big Celestials in his hand, but it's a pretty ideal turn. Whew, okay, I'm alright. Don't worry about me. So I assume he just drew Aurelian Soul? I can't imagine that's what he wants to be playing here. We're gonna lose Misfortune. Fine. Oh. It's hard to tell what's created all this stuff. We get to keep Misfortune. Okay. So can we ever like get him with an open? So let's say we add the tracker attack. He blocks our 2 bigs, which would be like a 6 and a Misfortune. Then he'd be taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we have the Ruthless Predator. It's a little dangerous. Like, but if he had like a Mystic Shot, he would have already played it, right? So we do these maths right. So we attack. He puts, stuff in front of Broodmother and Misfortune. Takes 3 and 4, 6 from the tracker, then 1 from Misfortune's ability, 1 from the Corsair's ability. And also technically just like Ruthless Predator this board, but okay. Feeling a little bit different about this now. If we get a scout attack, we're going to want to hit the White Flame Protector. This just feels so much safer if he has some kind of way to interact with what we're doing, or if he plays a... Let's just go ahead and take down the big one. Or if he plays a another like Star Shaping or something, I really rather this Misfortune be flipped on this attack. We also get in 2 additional damage with our abilities here. Okay, nice. All right. Yeah, for the units, you can hover them, and it'll say what created it. Right. That's what I was trying to take a peek at. Because I know you can highlight it, and then that little status thing shows up over on the left. I was mainly just interested to see if you know that he either has like a cheap one or an expensive one, and I'd kind of like to know if the expensive one generated that Equinox. But here, I guess we can take Jarvan. Right, we can give our dude scouts and stuff. He's pretty reasonable. Like, our curve is a hot mess as far as the top end is concerned. And so I'm not like, Jarvan definitely isn't a like, the Siren is ridiculous and the Dreadway is ridiculous. Jarvan is not like that level of ridiculous. Those cards are just like so good, even if it's not like fully happening. Just doubling the just doubling damage is pretty good, regardless of what's happening. You know, it's pretty tough to, you know, draw Jarvan and then if he's already in play, do stuff because he's just so rarely already in play. And so it's tough. But I do like, you know, kind of the idea of being able to draw him. But we haven't seen like any opportunities to get rid of these Stalking Broodmothers. Kind of okay with just taking the Jaw Hunters for the Pocket Aces. You know, another challenger unit. This is a pretty bad combat trick. I think this is the one we want to make. I'm sorry, Jarvan. You're just not quite there. If we were in like a Jarvan build around, then I'd be more inclined to do it. But if we had one Stalking Dragon, then I would have done it. If we had two, then maybe. But it's just so many of these draws to where it's not quite doing anything except clogging up our hand. Okay. So being on the odd attacks, we can't really get this stuff going until too late in the mid game, and being against whatever this Thresh Kindred Nasus Slayer style deck is trying to do, I'd rather come out on the board and be aggressive in the early game. This one's okay. I like to keep their board empty so you know, the Blighted Caretakers and the like take a little bit more work to pull off. Yeah, see, like this is ultimately my problem in coming down and taking a card like Jarvan. Is we just have too much top end here. Okay.
Sharpen my blade for you.
Don't have. If we had a vulnerable card, I would have waited. But again, let's just keep this board empty.
The ocean whispers her secrets.
Got him. Here's how you get deep. We we should have taken the cards to. Is that okay? That's fine. The Jaw Hunters. Now that we know we were going deep.
Every wave is a path.
Oh snap! That's how you get some stats.
Shall we, dear wolf?
I'm ready, little lamb.
Well, I guess that's the end of the fun. But we can't just leave Kindred on the board. We're about to get into these spots to where we're just adding Stalking Broodmothers to the board. And we can't just have our Stalking Broodmothers die to every slay. Oh gosh. Alright, let's see if you hit this coin flip. Nice. Okay, okay. Okay. Huh. We probably just end up taking the damage this turn, but let's play Misfortune and see if that stops him from attacking. Like, I'm never gonna just, like, risk her to a Black Spear this turn. You know, if it happens next turn, it happens next turn. That's fine. But, okay, things are done now. Okay. There's a touch of argument to play the Grizzled Ranger so we can still Concerted Strike, but I don't really care about losing any of these units. That's all completely fine. And this is actually, like, super good for us. My big worry here was that, like, you know, we're just going to run out of scouts, but if he's going to put a 1 health unit on the board, then we get to keep going at it with these. Is he dropping Brockham as his big boys instead of his little boys? He's going to play a Mist Call or something? That doesn't seem quite worth it.
Would you look at this place?
Okay. If we get to get his board whittled down to just the Scribe of Sorrows, I'm pretty okay with this. Alright, seems good. Coming down and dropping all the rock hoppers. Who is this, the strongest? So we'd be hitting Fading Icon? Probably okay to give this vulnerable. Yeah, that was some strange rock hopping that he did there. I'm just gonna play the Grizzled Ranger. I want to see if he, I don't know, plays like a ethereal remitter or something. Just gives us the option as a big unit to take down. Okay, this is fine. We can just concerted strike the misfortune block. He's gonna leave us our scout? No way he leaves our scout. Okay.
My saplings.
Okay, okay. Seems decent. Again, we'll start with the Broodmother. If he plays something particularly interesting that we can hit with Hired Gun, then that would be a nice little spot here. Sure. It's not quite what we were talking about.
Love ya.
And then, I mean, it doesn't seem like he has anything, but I don't think we can risk losing having Misfortune not flip here. We can, all of our future ones will be flipped at this point. So I think we're fine to get everything in. What's the worst that could happen here? He plays like Spirit Fire. That doesn't stop her ability from killing anything. Okay. Be cool if she still had Overwhelm. The big non-bow here. The Misfortune flip stopping all of our Furies. If there was ever a time to complain. Look at that, it stopped our reputation as well. Oh, savage. We're getting savaged.
No place for the kind.
Alright, well, we're gonna have to add units.
Doesn't look like much.
Can't save you in this one, Misfortune. Why? Why are you doing things like this? Okay, I guess that makes a little sense. And scout unit, that's how you do it. I don't think we can lethal him here, but is this the way to go about it? Probably. No, just not trying whatsoever to take down our stalking Broodmother.
Get bloody, get paid.
So if he doesn't play it, well, I think we're just lethal here unless he has some kind of life gain. We can guarantee our big boys get through, and then even if he has a card to stop our stalking Broodmother, then this set of units down here can still get through.
Time to make some coin.
So let's go about it this way. Some of this little to big.
Stand in my way.
You here and you here. Taking away Overwhelm felt like a weird way to nerf Misfortune. Yeah, but I don't know like what else in her kit that you go and like mess with, right? They already nerfed Make It Rain from, that's her flip card, from being a 2-cost to a 3-cost, and then like if you're just gonna go and what are you gonna do? Like take away like a point of attack or something that like really affects her on the bottom side. I don't think they've done anything to where it seems like a pretty much across the board when a champion flips, they pick up +1/+1. And so like maybe if she just like flipped and didn't gain any stats or something, that would have been a different way to do it. I'm kind of curious if it's like locked in that when your champion flips, it has to get +1/+1. But yeah, I guess I see like Overwhelm not really being anything in there thematically either. But with this, like, what do our fives look like? Looks like we have 5 in total, 2 of which are Great Horn Companion. I kind of want to get rid of this Strafing Strike. This is like one of the more challenging removal spells for our deck to take advantage of. It's like all of our early game is too small, and then once we get to this late game part where we're playing all of our big scouts and everything, we have a tough time picking up this 3 mana. So, excuse me, we should probably just hang on to it though, just to make sure we can, like, as far as like mid-game interactions go, we don't have a whole lot. Well, we did take that Jaw Hunters. Go us. That slipped my mind. I guess we do have enough interaction here. We've got all these vulnerables and everything. All right, we'll take the Companion. It was a nice win. All of our wins are always nice. It's good stuff. I mean, it always feels good whenever they play Kindred and then you win the game. So that was nice. I can't remember if I shared the video or it's something I recorded and threw away, but I did have this kind of like Siphoning Strike Thresh Nasus deck. Was it Thresh Nasus or not? I can't remember. It was definitely like using Siphoning Strikes and Threshes, and I thought it was kind of neat. I think it kind of fell flat and things didn't turn out to be an interesting trial, so I didn't post it, but it's an interesting little combo. I guess that's what people are doing in Constructed with Thresh Nasus. I don't know if they're playing Siphoning Strikes as much as just trying to, have that atrocity kind of play on top of your aggression, but I was pretty happy with it in that aspect. Getting a 5/million attackers or challengers, a pretty good thing that Shadow Isles isn't used to having access to. Okay, so this is ultimately awkward. Let's see if he adds anything else. I ultimately just plan on playing Misfortune here. Dragon Chow. Alright, let's go ahead and add her now, or add the Blinding Assault now, so that he doesn't get like 2 opportunities to play cards.
No prey, no pay.
I wonder if he has no play here, or if he's just doing this slow.
Time for
We're not skipping on the opportunity to flip our Misfortune next turn. This is definitely not one of these spots where we're just going to try and be cute. It would feel a lot better if we had a Sharp Sight. So we'll definitely not want to spend more than 3 mana next turn. Like, I don't really want to play Island Navigator here, because I want to have this Sharp Sight on our next attack. But I think you seem reasonable, Greenfang Warden. Like, how bad is this if he plays a like another one of these dragons next turn?
What do you see, boy?
Like, if we're wanting to open with, or play Island Navigator instead of opening, I think it's fine if we're going to assume that we're going to get this flipped to Misfortune.
Every wave is a path.
There's our boy. That's what this was all about. Was found in the Legion Rearguard. When do you attack large? Large attack versus like little to big as opposed to big to little. It usually just depends on, like, if we're against Ionia and like expecting our opponents to have access to a barrier kind of card or a lifesteal card. That's where you typically come in and attack little to big. Hang on, this is getting to be a touch awkward. I think we can still attack with everything here, except our Misfortune Valor.
He smells something.
Then when it comes to like big to little, nothing like specifically comes to mind. I typically do it when it has something to do with overwhelms. But it's like the only card that like super matters is if there's going to be like a champion flipping. And so if you're trying to say, finagle things so that, what did he just play? The gem? So if you're just trying to set things up so like a Sivir will get, her flip ability onto other things, or if you're going to get a Darius to flip at some point, but nothing like immediately comes to mind where I'm like, oh yeah, I just want to attack with my big boy first. How are we doing this? We suspect Jarvan's going to come down next turn and kill his Firebrand. Do we end up just playing the Sheriff? I think we probably just play the Sheriff here.
Place could use some more.
You can at least combat these dragons as well.
Rouse your kind, dragon!
Rouse your kind, dragon. This seems fine. Like, I assume he wants to attack with Envious Fox, and we'll just kill it with a sharp sight, and then open kill this thing with Jarvan. That seems like a pretty reasonable way to get this game going in our favor. We math this right. This is going to be 7 health against 6 attack. Got to stop and make sure those mathematics work how we expect. Okay.
Ready, boy?
Jarvan takes the big one. Okay, good deal.
Make a ruler, but actions make history.
You spurn my gift? Love ya.
All right, that seems pretty positive for the home team.
To the flag!
You did hear we can still hook whatever his play is. Nice.
Raise our banners! Demacia prevails!
Okay, let's get these trade picks going. So I don't want to make any of these. Our 5-cost expensive scouts are good now. We picked up these 3 Great Horn Companions. That looks fine. We want to keep our early game with the Rockhopper, never trading out Concerted Strike, and then we want to hang on to our Scout. So that's an easy one. Misfortune for Renekton, get that shit out of here. But hey, here we go. Here's a Cataclysm that we can try to do some cutesy Scout stuff with. There's an argument to take the Concerted Strike, but I'm pretty happy having at least 1 copy of Sharp Sight in our deck. This is another one of these decks to where, like 2 removals seems pretty decent in Concerted Strike and Siphoning Strike. Then we have a ton of interaction with all of our challengers and vulnerables, and so I don't feel like this is a space where we have to go out of our way to find more Concerted Strikes. What is this? Give everything vulnerable? No, we're going to skip on that. I don't think we want any of these. Nothing too exciting going on here. And on the last one, don't like any of these as well. Like hanging on to our kind of challengers. These play so well with Misfortune. So yeah, I think we're good to skip all of these. So cool, let's get in there. Let's get in that final battle. Much better than the previous Twitch stream where we we went like, oh, the goose egg, and then we got a 1 winner. Oh, all right. Not bad. We went out of our way to draft this 3-faction deck and made our way to the final battle. So, yeah. Making a little bit of argument towards it. Still, it seems okay here. A lot of the problems you run into with Demacia Bilgewater are having ways to interact. You have to count on Concerted Strike showing up to get a removal spell. And then Bilgewater just has almost actual nothing. And so, getting kind of double value out of these the Bilgewater vulnerable cards has been nice. Picking up some vulnerables out of Shurima was nice. So it's not that bad. I kind of dig what's happened here. Uh-oh. What's the finding match thing? I don't want to play against poor Robot. What do we get? Do we get 2 minutes or 90 seconds? I don't remember. Fuck it. We'll just wait. We'll say maybe this will be an exciting round against poor Robot. I think it's at 2 minutes though. Well, it went to 1.5 minutes, so it's not 90 seconds. Oh man. Running out of time, Riot. Just nobody out here playing expeditions today. Everyone's. There we go. It's all spiced pepper. He's trying out the old trifaction thing as well. Look at that. Okay, against this kind of Tom Kench deck. I don't think we have to be like ultra aggressive. I kind of want to hang on to Concerted Strike, but I think we'll be okay. Just trying to interact with Tom Kench with just normal units. Honored Lord, you could be interesting. I don't like when we don't have the scout to get Misfortune like really ramping up. We might prefer to have the Honored Lord down on 3 instead of just running out the Misfortune. Let's see how this plays out.
Would you look at this place?
May not get to interact with his stuff at all. So how does this play? Like the other, well, I think what happens, like if we play Honored Lord, he just doesn't do anything, right? But I think we're kind of okay with this.
Experience gives.
Because we'll play Misfortune on his turn, and then on our turn 5, we'll just add Razor Scale Hunter. We'll still have access to Sharp Sight mana along the way. This is okay. And I think we just have to accept that, trading Rockhopper for a Gift Giver kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world.
You spurn my gift?
I would never spurn your gift.
A drop of kindness creates many remnants. Out of the spring.
Got it. Never. That's the biggest never blocking of the year.
Fortune favors the bold.
So nothing changes with this, right? I don't know what if we find like a cheap unit, we can switch to just dropping Green Fang Warden. Maybe we want to, because this is awkward in the sense that the Razor Scale Hunter is not going to it's going to be putting Vulnerable on the same unit. Okay. I don't really like it, but
Oh, that's my favorite too.
oh, not to make it rain. So let's hook here, and then we can try to Sharp Sight through this Moondreamer. This is ultimately what gets weird here. But I don't think it doesn't feel like we need the Sharp Sight. The only thing that comes to mind is if he drops a Tom Kench next turn.
They will sing of our deeds.
So if he comes down here and blocks, I'm kind of less inclined to do it, but we still survive this combat and take his unit down. So I think this is okay.
Mwah.
All right, not bad. We're definitely just gonna start plowing through with the scouts. If he has Tom Kench, we can still make some kind of open on it, or we can give him vulnerable. I think this is fine. Just adding big boys. Let's make sure to go ahead and give this vulnerable. And then next turn we can start with this Stalking Broodmother. I think we're fine. Care about him plundering? Really? Okay. It has been decided. This should probably be enough to do it, right? There's he could have some random Celestial, but I don't even think that's particularly scary coming into a Misfortune flip. Or if he just wants to obliterate Misfortune, I think he dies. So I think we should probably just have this one locked down. Like if he has a back-to-back here, that would be awful. But, you know, we can get through any barrier play with Misfortune. I think all of this looks pretty good. We still want to make it rain. That will take down his Stargazer. Puts a damage over here on the Citrus Courier, so we can now hook kill the Citrus Courier with our Honored Lord. And this should be a lethal. He's only got 1 mana here.
Good dog.
The journey is difficult.
The Gift Giver,
This will protect you.
a little short. Okay, so we've definitely just won this now.
Keep the pace here, dog.
There you have it. Good game, friend.
That's Captain Fortune.
Yeah, nice little 7 winner. Perfection. Get these in here. Get these in here live. Get these nice little 7 winners.
That's why I'm the captain.
Okay. So yeah, I think that is gonna have to do it for us today. Got us right up around 2 hours. I think that's all I have time to swing today. I think if we'd come out in like 1-2 games, then I think we could have just got in a second one, but I don't think we'll be able to here. And so yeah, I was kind of neat how that turned out. I didn't quite get stuck in the trap of that just being like a good card stack. I don't think we did, at least. It doesn't feel like that in my mind. But typically, like, this is still a little outside of the realm of what I like to do. It was nice, having these kind of interactive elements with the Honored Lords and all the challengers. It's nice having all the challengers and vulnerables with Misfortune. And so we did get to kind of like piece together all of these different strategies, but did we really gain that much from having Shurima in our deck? I mean, not really. We didn't end up with that much anyways. I'm trying to think of what even still lives here. There was Rockhopper, Ruthless Predator. These are all essentially removal spells, right? Bakai Sandspinner, and then we have one more, Siphoning Strike. So yeah, all 4 of our Shurima cards were removal spells, which, I guess if you're really looking to go out there and, pick up a third faction, that's probably realistically what you're going to want to do, and that is where Misfortune decks do tend to be kind of weak, as in the land of removal. They were extremely good back when there was a lot more 1 health units running around. Times have changed since Targon and Shurima came out. Shurima kind of went back in that direction, has some reasonable number of 1 health units, but still not nearly as good as she used to be. But having this kind of additional way to pick up some removal, not that bad. It's just, again, like, my big worry with doing this is, at the end of the day, we kind of want like a scouted out pack to show up, and then we want like the rando Demacia packs to show up, because there's not like a whole lot of Bilgewater cards that we actually want that aren't Misfortune. Like, the scouts tend to be pretty weak. There's no removal spells. Like, you're not really building a deck around like Crackshot Corsairs. And so outside of the things like You've Been Warned and Hired Gun, there's not, a whole lot that we're actually looking for besides Misfortune. And so I don't know. At the end of the day, this was probably just a good Honored Lord deck, right? But anywho, I think that is going to do it for us. If you made it out here, thanks for watching. I wish I had a better way to, kind of predict when I'd be able to come out here and stream, as opposed to just making YouTube videos. But I don't quite have that. And so, if you're here in Twitch, if you're new to what we do here, we put most of our content out on YouTube. So you can find the old FTP bust on YouTube. And then if you're one of my YouTube watchers and you're wanting to catch the stream, I don't like to be the one to come out and say, give me a like, a follow, a subscribe, and a thumbs up. But that's the realistic only way I know how to say to be able to catch these things on Twitch, is following over here at the FTP Bus channel, and then having those notifications turned on. But, I try my best. If I'm able to schedule these in the future, I will. But I think for the most part, they're going to be pretty spur of the moment. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for watching. I hope you all learned something along the way and had a good time. Maybe got in a chat or two, and that is going to do it. So everybody out there, have a good one.